Hello everyone, how are you doing? Hope you're having a great day so far. Welcome to another video. This is a special Piestas book reviews. About this video in particular, William Gibson's Spook Country. It was given to me by one of my followers. Thank you so much, Hugo, for sending it to me. I just finished it reading a couple of weeks ago. Actually, it's been sitting around here waiting for me to have time to talk about it. I'm a big fan of William Gibson's storytelling. I read pretty much all of the cyberpunk related things, Neuromancer, Count Zero, all that stuff. Then I read a few other ones about the virtual light and idols and stuff like that, which was very, very cool. And then I didn't know about the rest. Manchatronic sent me the first of the Blue Ant series, which is more about this company that tries to find marketable things to communicate in a way and have a very big budget, which is never really explained where they have it. So it's a bit of a... It's not so much tech related, but more investigative journalism / detective stories with a little hints of espionage. This one, it's number 2 in the series. Spook Country also links back to that. There's only one character that reappears here from the first Blue Ant series book, which is the big honcho of the Blue Ant company itself, which is a character on himself. I did like the book. It's not my favorite thing, but I did like the different stories that it had. It's pretty much focusing around 3 different storylines that coalesce into or converge into a final head, which is a formula that I've seen William Gibson use before on other books before. I remember Mona Lisa Overdrive have a very similar plot line sort of idea or concept behind it. This one in particular talks a lot about locative art. It's one of the starter things. For those who don't know what locative art is, we don't really use that term very much, but it's pretty much augmented reality or virtual reality, but based around a specific location. So at some point around the 90s, well, 2000s, when smartphones became more prevalent, it started becoming a bit more common for you to geotag some stuff and do applications online. And then Pokemon Go had this whole boom of augmented reality games, which didn't really last very much. You can count by the fingers in your hands how many people still, or how many striving franchises still exist on this geo-referenced augmented reality field. Still a very explored field. There was a big investment in virtual reality, but yeah, this book was written before that. It sort of imagines what locative art is, or the power of locative art. I think there were already some locative art elements by the time that William Gibson wrote this. Can I find the year of publishing real quick? 2007, apparently. So yeah, there were already some hints of smartphones and things that you could do with augmented reality and virtual reality in this world. Anyways, just one of the themes that surround this. So it's very interesting for those who don't know that kind of art. It creates a certain mystique around it. I already knew, so for me it wasn't very interesting, that aspect, although it was still well written and interesting nonetheless. Has a few interesting characters. One of them is a very huge tech geek, like / hacker in a way, which is very interesting to portray, since Gibson has portrayed this kind of characters before in the past. I think it was well, it had a lot of character in the character, so it works really well. That's one of the things that I like about William Gibson's writing style. He really thinks through the characters and their individuality and their personality and how they handle situations, how they respond to situations, which is something that in my own creative writing I'm not very good at yet. I strive to be, but I always have this ruminating thing in the back of my head that all the characters all kind of look very much the same, or they react very much the same, and that they should be more have personalities of their own. They have more personalities. So there are quite a lot of characters in this book in particular. It even got a bit confusing at some points if you don't keep track of all the names. It mixes different storylines, as I mentioned. So the main character is this female character from a band called The Curfew, a fictitious band, and she's doing some investigative reporting on locative art, and she ends up finding some of it and writing about it. And then there's a deeper twist that they wanted to investigate further this specific thing, which was a lot of aura around it. At the same time, we have two other timelines being shown, which seems like taken out of an espionage movie or script of some sort. Two very meaningful characters. One of them is Milgram, which is this druggy character that has this special skill, but at the same time is a very broken kind of character. Very similar to the main character in Mona Lisa Overdrive. Drug addict, being in this strange relationship with this other dominating character, which is a bit of a retired spy from what we understand from the book. So they have a very interesting dynamic, and it's like completely, you're in a different world when you're reading their part of the story, and then you're going back to the singer of The Curfew. And then they cut to another new character out of it, which is Tito. So Tito is this Cuban kid, which has this background and a very large family of people related from Cuba to Russia, and the whole family has developed into becoming like spies in some way, or people who do things for spies or for governments, or who don't want to have accountability thrown at them. So it's a very interesting character, both because of all the background that is very laid out throughout the book. It's explained, it's refined, it's recurrently mentioned and exposed a little bit of, as you keep reading the book, different characters going back to that character. And one of the things that I did like in particular about this character that might feel a bit more surreal to the writing of William Gibson was the use of the divine spirits in Tito. So at some point he feels like he is possessed by these divine spirits that take over and allow him to control and do this very situations that a normal person would not be able to cope with. And he gets into this, evokes these spirits and does these things which can feel spiritual in a way, and how can I say this? In one way, it's appealing to the spiritual nature of people, like there's a real representation of the spirits. On the other way, it's a bit of a ethereal way of looking at enhanced performance of a character. And I particularly like the connection between the spirits that have happened here and how they are portrayed in the cyberpunk worlds, because in a lot of cyberpunk worlds, not all of them, break for mail. So as I was saying, in a lot of cyberpunk worlds, there is this connection with magic or spirits. And I remember playing a specific version of a cyberpunk game where you could select your spirit animal. There was this element of spirituality where you could invoke a specific animal and that will give you certain traits, which is very good when you're playing, role-playing or tactical missions and stuff like that. It brings another layer of interest, and it's really cool that there is this link back on Gibson, which is like one of the people who popularized cyberpunk. He didn't coin the term. I was corrected when I did that, when I said that at a previous video at some point. So he didn't coin cyberpunk, but he was one of the persons who picked it up and turned it into something more known or famous. So it's interesting that people can have this invocation of spirits that come and help them in a way. And it's something that we see in different role-playing games as well. I remember Final Fantasy had those tropes, for example, and other stuff like that. And like it connects to stories, like indigenous stories, like the American Indians also have this animal spirits kind of concept behind them. It's something that's very connecting yourself to Mother Earth sort of way, like a connection to the Earth spirit and all the different things that inhabit it. It's a bit more esoteric, but interesting in a way as well. It gives a certain character to the story. So yeah. Interesting read. It wasn't my favorite of William Gibson's, but it was a good read nonetheless. And now I have to read the third one, which I also have been donated by one of our viewers. So I will pick that up sometime soon. So yeah. Wanted to record this video and let you guys know what I thought about the William Gibson's Spook Country. Have you read this book before? Do you have any thoughts that you would like to share with me? Anything in specific that you liked about the book? Yeah, let me know on the comments below. Other than that, hope you're having a great day. See you next video. Bye bye, everybody. Take care.